Today I've made a makeshift little workbench to try and make it a bit easier for me while I'm working outside to show you what I need to. Today I intend on finishing my electronic jet kit project. Now, I made disclaimers the first time, I'll make them again this time. EJK does not support the CB125F. In fact, I bought this electronic jet kit for $100 secondhand, and it is designed for a Honda PCX scooter. So, this is a project that I expect to fail because EJK does not support Euro 5 bikes, and Euro 5 bikes are specifically designed to fight and detect piggyback fuel mods like this. However, there's a small chance I can get this project to work, in being that in the fine print of the Euro 5 standards, it states bikes with a top speed of over 130 kilometers an hour need to test these mods. So it's a bit of a toss-up. The reason I couldn't finish this project the first time around is because I assumed that these were the same connectors as what's on my bike, but these are the older ones. So of course I had to jump on Google and look for an adapter between a fuel injector type A to type B adapter. And of course it was Humanashi again who came to the rescue for modifications on this bike. What I've got here is a injector type A to type B and then a type B to type A. And to show you how that works, I've brought along, this is not a Humanashi injector. In here is actually the stock injector, the 90cc injector from the Honda. But this will work to show what I'm trying to. I'm trying to just show the difference between the type A and the type B injector. There's not much in it at all. Basically what I'm trying to show is how I'm going to use these adapters to connect the fuel injector on the CB125F to the EJK. And it really is pretty simple. Okay, so obviously I can't plug the EJK directly into the fuel injector. It just won't fit. That's why I have these adapters. So, this adapter plugs onto fuel injector type B to type A plug. Now this type A end comes along and slips into the EJK like that. Now for this one, so one end is attached to the fuel injector. This end goes into the wiring loom on the bike. And that should be all I need to get the engine on my bike to talk to the EJK. So my prediction for this module is I expect that this is going to communicate fine. But I expect when the ECU on the bike detects it's running rich, i.e. getting more fuel, it's going to fuel cut just like it did when I tried forcing more fuel into it with the 140cc injector. Now, there is already a 120cc injector which has fine-tuned the bike perfectly. But the first thing to do is get this wired up, and the only wiring I need to do aside from plugging those injector adapters in is plugging that into the earth. So I've got the fuel injector connected to the adapters to the EJK, which for now is just sitting up here. The only thing left for me to do before trying to turn the key is wire this to the negative terminal of the battery. This is genuinely a first key start attempt, so we'll see what we see. All right, now the EJK has been fully wired up. Now the only thing I haven't done on this bike yet is disconnect the O2 sensor, which that will throw up a code of its own, and there's not really a way that I've heard of to cheat that. There's no plugs that come with it for this bike, but we'll see how we go. What I intend to do, if this thing says it's functioning correctly, so a solid bank of green LEDs, I might take it for a ride. If it's getting the fuel cuts, I'll just unplug the O2 sensor, take it for another ride. I will eventually get a code up on there, but so long as the bike seems to be running okay, I can live with that. With no further ado, all right, let's give it power. Okay, so it's flashing, which says it's waiting for an input. Okay. That looks like a functioning electronic jet kit to me. And a running bike. So what I need to do before the bike gets too hot, we've confirmed that the electronic jet kit itself is functioning as intended. I'm not going to mess with any of the tuning yet. I just want proof of concept. I need to cable tie all of these wires out of the way and EJK mounted somewhere that's easy to read. I think I'm going to go ahead and find a way to mount it up in here somewhere. I just need somewhere to cable tie it off. I'm not going to use any double-sided tape yet, especially seeing as if the bike doesn't run under load with this. Yeah, I'm going to want to be able to remove it. So I'll shut this off for now. I'll get everything tidied up and I'll check in once it's done. So I've just got everything very messily tied in there. I've got that cable tied into the hole that I drilled for my disc lock, so I could keep it under the seat before I bought a tail bag. It shouldn't vibrate loose. The bike's still cold. I'm in the process of putting all the panels back on. Okay, so EJK cycling. Okay, we're looking good. Right. So I thought I'd go helmet cam for this one. We're just going to take it for a few laps around the yard just to see what it does under load. A couple laps around the yard will give me an idea of what it's going to do, maybe. Alright, so it's still, you know, even though it's been idling for about I didn't keep an eye on the time, 5 or 10 minutes, Still wants to idle low. This tachometer is not perfect. All right, well, the next step is obviously getting it out on the road, seeing how it performs.